So, one of the myths around perimenopause, which are the years where that lead up to menopause, and those are the years that can last a very, very, very long time. One of the myths is that the first sign of perimenopause is either your menstrual cycle kind of becoming different. So, whether it's changing in the length of time between periods, whether it's the length of time of the period, whether it's the flow, all of those kinds of factors. So, that's a myth that's one of the first signs. And it's also a myth that night sweats and hot flushes are the first signs. And yet those are the things that are most associated with this particular stage of life. What we actually know is it's the psychological and the cognitive symptoms of perimenopause that tend to show up first and can show up well. And I'm talking maybe even a decade before some of those other vasomotor kind of symptoms, which are the hot flushes and the night sweats, as an example. You can actually have a regular period, no changes in your period as well, and still be in perimenopause. Interestingly, what happens is because this isn't known, when we start to experience these psychological psychological shifts, changes in our mood, and perhaps increased anxiety, but definitely not always. And when we start to feel like our brains aren't kind of as sharp as they used to be, so a lot of women will describe experiencing brain fog. They're starting to have difficulties remembering things, walking into rooms, forgetting why they went there. Word finding difficulties are really, really common as well. So when these things start to emerge, because we aren't aware that they're often signs of perimenopause, we usually attribute it to we're just too busy, we're burnt out. And we can be burnt out and perimenopause, I will add that. And we can be very busy and also be in perimenopause. But it's usually only attributed to those things. And doctors also make that mistake. So the amount of women that myself and my colleagues kind of come across where a doctor might have made a referral to us as mental health practitioners because somebody is feeling overwhelmed and their brain's not working as well, and they're snappier and more anxious, and any of those. So the referral gets made, but it's made within the context of they're just too busy. They need to find better ways of coping, or they're burnt out. They need to find ways of recovering from burnout. So that is a very, very big problem because we're looking at it in an incomplete way, and therefore we're providing incomplete intervention. And this is why it's also really, really important that us as mental health professionals are attuned to this.